Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear and see me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for coming today, for signing up for CRM of the crop, cream of the crop. Last week's session kind of started a discussion, and Leslie and I both, were talking about our CRM and how we don't use it as effectively as we would like to. So we decided that we are going to do a weekly kind of like support accountability group surrounding our Moxie CRM. And the the basic plan is to meet every Wednesday for a half an hour and tackle one specific item in MoxiEngage that will lead us to using our CRM more effectively and more often as we should. We have so many great tools, but if we don't pull them out of the toolbox, then what good are our tools? So today what I'm going to kind of do is just a little bit of touch on all of the different things that we really want to dig into in this support accountability group that we're starting. And Carla is graciously going to share her screen because my computer is crazy. So she is going to be sharing my MoxiEngage. And when you log in, this is your dashboard and what it should look like. It gives you people to contact. It shows you recent activity of people that have logged on or have clicked on something. And if you get it tuned up and use it efficiently, it can really help to drive your business a little bit better. I know, one of the reasons that I'm not as good as this is because, like everybody, I'm on the run, I'm taking notes, I get a phone call, I write it down on a piece of paper, and then I go do other things. And then I'm like, God, where was that person? Where was that note that I needed to follow up on? And if I would just spend, a half an hour a day at the end of the day entering my new people, my new contacts, then I would have that information and I would be able to pull it up so much easier. So the first thing, when we get the Wednesday session started, the first thing we're going to focus on is setting yourself up for success and building a good foundation in your CRM. And what that means is getting your contacts entered, getting them personalized and grouped and categorized to make it really nicely organized.
Kelly, can I interrupt for just 1 second?
Yes.
I'm just going to back up just for a second, just in case anybody doesn't know, we are on 21online.com.
Sorry.
We did come into, nope, that's okay. No, you're doing awesome. We did come into MoxiEngage. And so all we did is log in 21online.com. Remember, it is your first name last name at century21.com and that password. And then once you're here, you can click on those 3 little lines in the top right, click on Productivity Hub, and then just scroll down to MoxiEngage. You will land at an actual dashboard that has this black bar along the top. Wait for that black bar to load. It takes just a second. And then once it does, this is your quick way to get to all of your different Moxie. You'll notice Engage is highlighted because we are on Engage, and this is that welcome screen. Kelly mentioned that we're starting this support group, this cream of the crop or CRM support group. And I've had a number of agents that have reached out and they don't understand, where do I get this list? Where do I get these contacts? And I just wanted to just kind of back up here for a second just to say, your telephone has contacts in it. You probably, if you were able to pull up your cell phone right now and go into your contacts and scroll to the bottom, it'll tell you how many contacts you have in your phone. Depending on Android or iPhone, it might be in a little different place. But like, for instance, I have 1,100 contacts in my phone. Now, hopefully I know all of these people, but maybe there's some cleaning up I need to do. But when Kelly's talking about our contacts or our sphere, you have more contacts than you think. I think sometimes our agents instantly think that it's the clients they've worked with and how do they get their old client list, or they don't know where they've stored that or wherever. But let's just talk about our sphere for a second and where that all kind of originates.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we'll talk about in the first session. You've got so many different ways to get contact information, from your phone to your email. And if you're an experienced agent or you've been using the MLS, I would almost guarantee that you have contacts in your MLS already set up on things. So there's multiple spots that we can export contacts from and import them here into our Engage.
Great point. I just wanted to make sure, like, everybody, because sometimes they don't know what the CRM stands for or what those contact lists are. And I'm just so excited. This is going to be such a great group of people who get together. There's that accountability. And for those people that are trying to keep track of all of this on Post-it notes and memory, this will make you feel like you really are driving that business, like Kelly mentioned. Because this is, I mean, look at the first thing on the screen. It says stay in flow. Like, hello, here's my reminders of all the things that I said I would do or that I want to do, depending on how I've set those reminders, right?
Right. And it also, it integrates with our other Moxie products. So if you send somebody a CMA from Moxie Present and they open it, you can see that here in MoxiEngage. So all of these tools work together also.
That's
Which is really nice.
fantastic. It's so cool. And if the leads flow in from Leads Engine, those also go right into here, but you have to have started. You have to have actually logged into MoxiEngage for the first time and opened it up for all of these tools to work. So it doesn't work until you're ready for it to work. And then you can start to build it out to whatever your heart desires. Whether you're tracking all of your closings, whether you're tracking all of the leads that are coming in, the CMAs that you're sending out, if you're making your own to-do list, your own pipeline. And it also connects to our Moxie website for neighborhood news. So every time somebody signs up for a neighborhood news, those people come in. So when agents do reach out and like, how can I grow? I want to grow my contacts. I mean, there are so many different ways to grow your contacts that are automated and connected here, as long as you just click the button and say yes, right, Kelly?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So, and we'll go in the support group after we get the contacts all set up and all organized. Then we're going to dig a little bit deeper and we're going to go into some of those automation features. And really, they're just settings that we need to turn on. So automation and personalization so that you can really kind of customize it to how you want to use it. And then after that, we're going to even go a little bit further and talk about doing like e-newsletters, email blasts, and how you can really use your MoxiEngage to your benefit once you've got it all set up the way you want. Do you want to go to my people, Carla? So I do have quite a few contacts. I've imported my email contacts. I've imported contacts from my MLS. And then of course I've got different leads in here. Like if you click on Ryan, that was a leads engine lead. Actually, I have a lot of leads engine leads on the left there. He is a lead, and I think I've added some, maybe I didn't add the details. But as I talk to him and I can add notes about what they're looking for, what their time frame is.
Kelly, see right here, I
family.
clicked on your notes
Yep.
and it's synced with your email account. And it
Yep.
said looking for a single family home. So when they emailed, it synced this lead up with this note in here.
Yes. So you've got notes in there. You can add different activities. Neighborhood news. I must have it set up already to automatically send neighborhood news to people that come in through Leads Engine. That's one of the automations that you can do. There are also email campaigns that you can automatically assign to different leads. And this guy has been pretty active, it looks like. And we do text quite a bit, so it's good to know that he's looking at these things also.
Can I just highlight the rock star status here for you, Kelly? Do you mind?
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
Well, look at this. Because Kelly has went in and signed up, like set up her Engage. She's also set up some email campaigns for neighborhood news and for some holidays. But you know how like you have that panic feeling, like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're panicking, like, did I get back to this person? Oh, this person emailed, like, what am I doing? And you want to make sure you're staying on top of it. This person came in on 3/3. So I can see on 3/3, they were added from Leads Engine. So they were successfully automatically added to neighborhood news. So then they set their neighborhood news subscription for their zip code. And then their campaign email was sent out from a holiday. So already all of these touch points has happened. So they've gotten spring ahead, St. Patrick's Day. And up here, he opened the first day of spring campaign. We sent another, the neighborhood news subscription was opened. So you can see all of the different, just 6 days ago, Ryan is interacting with these things that Kelly hasn't had to like remember to go in and send each individual person a spring campaign. It's automatically integrating while she's out working on other things. And it's seeming very personalized to Ryan. And this is just the simple stuff on the back end by just setting up those automations, which sounds scary. That word sounds scary, but it is very, very easy to do, which is what we're going to do together in this support group. But I just wanted to show how cool it is of how much just by you activating your MoxiEngage and this lead coming in, how much work has already been done for you that this person is obviously enjoying because they're opening it.
Yeah, it really does make it super simple when you have it just set up on the back end and ready to go. What else do we have in there?
You have faves and saves. So this is if they have logged in and created a search and they're looking for houses or whatever, if they've saved or favorited any from your site, this is where they would show. So you can also create a search here. So you can create this search of whatever those parameters are, those filters, those price points, and you can send that out to them as well and send those out if you'd like. So that's something you can do. Your presentations, I'm just going down the list here. You can create a presentation. And then these are the campaigns that you have set up so you can see And if you have another campaign, let's say you have a buyer campaign and this is a buyer, you can add him to your subscription for your automation there.
Yep. Yep. And then groups, it automatically does put a new client into the new group, but you can add other groups. You know, I should have them as a buyer. And then you can add kind of specific keywords also, categories. And then you can really, these are some of the things that I've meant to do, wanted to do, but I've only, you know, used it as far as I have into setting up the automations. I know there's just so much more that I can do. And by adding, you know, using it a little more strategically, by adding categories and groups, then it will be easier to come in and say, you know, like this guy, if I had him in the buyer category, and then maybe I had a category for metro area, and something new hits in the metro area, I can just pull up that group of people and send them all an email about this great new listing. Like these are the features that I want to get to eventually, by going through and really following through and following up in this support group that we're going to do. So let's see, if you go back to, I'm trying to see, oh, settings, the little settings tab or the little cog thing. Yes.
So I just clicked on this little, in case maybe it's too small. Maybe it's like, can you guys see this better? If I do that? Hopefully, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So this little settings tab right here underneath the picture allows you to get to these engage settings that you can see. You just go down the left-hand side, it lets you. So you can see that you can, new leads will be automatically added to your list of people. Here you can manage the various options for your leads. So you can set up and manage Zillow Tech Connect. You can set up an auto response email.
Yep.
You can have an automatic. Yep, go ahead.
Yep. Yep. Those are the two things right there. Those two little tags. If you just turn those from off to on, you can set up an auto response for any lead that comes in, which is nice. So if, you know, a lead comes in the middle of the night, they'll get that email and then you can follow up with them in the morning. So that's one thing that I'll need to turn on, and you can kind of customize it so that it maybe fits your personality a little bit better. And then the same with the neighborhood news. You can turn that right on and it will automatically send that out to them. Yeah. And I don't know if there's a save. You can turn it on.
Woohoo! We just did something together. That was cool. We
Right?
just automatically signed that's how fast it was to do an automation.
Yes. Yes. Now every single lead that comes in through either my website or the company website or through the things that we have set up will automatically be signed up for neighborhood news, and they will be able to cut. I think it will automatically set them up for the zip code of the property they're inquiring about, but they will have the opportunity to change that.
And I went ahead and just clicked under subscriptions over here to neighborhood news. I just wanted to show. This is, so now that we've turned that on, right? So we just automatically said, we're going to send this out. So when that comes out and somebody comes in through a lead and they're automatically getting subscribed to neighborhood news, under subscriptions and neighborhood news, it says keep your contacts connected with neighborhood news. So here's hello, and it'll insert Ryan's name right here. Let's say it was Ryan. welcome to your personalized neighborhood news report every month, and it tells you what it's going to say. You can always change the default zip code to an area that better suits your needs. If you don't like this message, you just click this edit up here and you can make this message say whatever you would like. Agents also call me all the time and say, how can I get just a link? I want to send a link out to get people that want to sign up for neighborhood news, just a quick link. Here's where you create that link for your neighborhood news if you want to have people sign up. You could add this link right into your email signature line. So you can do it from a website, a presentation, an email. And then here's your neighborhood news set sign up widget. So you can add this to any website to allow visitors to subscribe and receive neighborhood news while capturing and creating new leads. So I just wanted to show that's so simple, right? That feels very easy.
Yeah. Yeah, they've really made it so simple for us. We just have to pull out our tools and use them. Right?
You got that right.
And what else is in there?
There's listing announcement messages. So this is in the just listed and just sold email. So you can change these if you have an automation set up for every just listed and just sold. So it'll say right here, and this is what Kelly was just talking about, that in the support group, she's going to go through and start setting all of these things up. But this is just kind of a little peek into where you find those. And then those saved search, you can create a saved search message. So I've created a saved search for you in, Isle, Minnesota. Take a look around and feel free to make any changes. So these are where you can come in and just edit those automations. Do you want me to click on this task manager?
You can. See, there are features that I don't use, and that's probably one of them. And I need to learn how to use these.
Yeah. So the task manager is one that I like because everybody does something a little bit differently. So remember, MoxiEngage not only sends out email campaigns, automates things, keeps contacts stored from all the leads that come in or any that you add or upload yourself, but it also creates tasks for you to do so you can run your business. So in terms of, like, let's say Ryan came in and he's a lead. Okay, so Ryan is a lead. So there's a leads marketing plan. I'm just going to click customize here. This is just a sneak peek for you guys. Here is what it is. Do a follow-up email. Day 5, reach out to this. Day 7, update team. Day 15, set neighborhood news. Subscribe to monthly newsletter. Schedule a meeting. Interact on social media. Complete any additional subscriptions. Mail a personal note. Add to a mailing list. See how all of these are day whatever. You can customize and change. I want that to go out in 3 months, or I want that to go out in 6 months. You can you can remove them from the plan. You can edit these if you want to add a task. You want to delete a task. You want to change a task, so that this is your marketing plan that you want to do for a lead, but they've went ahead and added some parameters for us to get started with. And remember, this person is ready to move to a prospect. So a lead is not a prospect. A lead is just somebody that you're working with. They may or may not buy. They've shown some interest in something, but you haven't moved them to, signing a buyer rep agreement or working with them as a listing. Then there's prospect zone. So those are, let's just go back here. See if I can just hit back. So that's your lead marketing plan. There's marketing plans in here for a buyer plan and a seller plan. So you can customize. There's 56 tasks if you've got to schedule a meet and greet, conduct your meet and greet, create a buyer's presentation, schedule, see how they come down, mail a thank you note. This will then start to show up in your dashboard as your task.
Yes. Yep.
So you can see how you really do need to log in, click these, make sure you like them. And then when you're starting to assign these people that are coming into your MoxiEngage, you start assigning them and knowing that these are automations that would be turned on and starting to work and to remind you.
Right. And then you just have to make yourself, do it, log on every day, do your tasks, and just follow your plan. Once you have your plan all set up, then you just have to follow it.
So when we come back to that dashboard, good morning, Kelly. Stay in the flow. Let's reach out to these 5 people today. This will have a more robust list of send this out. Remember to send a thank you note to this person. Do this with this person. You have to-do list over here. You can see who's recently been interacting. So Shyla opened her neighborhood news, right? You can see who's opened their neighborhood news recently. You can refresh it. You can just like, hey, I noticed you were looking at this. I was going to reach out to you. Did you see anything, that you're looking for? Whatever. You can also set up what your goal is. So let's say you decide this year you're going to make the $5 million club or the $1 million club. You can come in and you can set your goal right here, and it'll keep you on task of how many calls you should be making, how many leads you're going to need to be putting in here if you want to hit that goal. It's so cool.
Am I freezing or is Carla freezing? I must be freezing.
I don't know if I froze or not, but I'm just going to stop sharing here for a second and just see. We've talked for a while. Let's just see if anybody has any questions or want to share anything. I think for the most part, I have your microphones unmuted, so you feel free to come on and talk to us if you'd like, or you have anything to add or anything to ask. We're here.
Questions or tips, anybody that uses it, that does something differently or has some cool little tip or trick would be awesome. Or if there's anything that you wonder if it could do, maybe we could answer that question also.
This is Sarah. It looks like you really want someone to talk.
Thanks, Sarah.
I think my biggest thing is I need to dive in and get in there and start using it a lot more, utilize it more. My biggest thing is to get them once they buy a house with me. We get them on a subscription when we meet them right away, and then they actually buy a house with me. Then a lot of times I forget to take them off that subscription. And so like someone buys a lake cabin, my goal for this year is to get them off then the saved searches or the auto searches and get them onto like a neighborhood news like that. So that's something that's something that I need to work on.
Sarah, one tip I would have for you is, how there was that marketing plan in there that I was just on that screen? Just add a task that says, like, for your sellers or buyers, add the task at the end to say switch subscription.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
And then it'll pop up, and then you won't have to remember because you have a lot to remember. So take all of the things that you have to remember and set it as a task so it tells you to do it. And it'll remind you until you do it. So it's kind of cool that way.
Okay.
Thanks for talking to us, Sarah. We appreciate that so much.
I tried to read the room.
Carla and Kelly, do you know if you can set up the tasks to be emailed to you?
No, and I mean, you might be able to, but I think you get reminders in your email because it's connected there. But what the whole point of this is to truly come in. You want to set yourself up to succeed, to log in, make this a ritual part of your morning or your afternoon, whenever it is that you're going to do it, so that you're making that, because there's so many, you might get a reminder, you might get a task email to you, but you want to go in and continue to update these people and continue to set those tasks. So just like you click on your calendar and look through your calendar or wherever you keep your to-do list, some people I know Nathan shared with us once his to-do list, he's got it written out on this piece of paper, his weekly tasks that he does. Whatever works for you to do, and maybe one of those tasks is to come in and update the notes here so that it sends those reminders or does that automation for you. But we really do want to get in the habit. We want to build great habits of coming in every morning and really working this the way that it is meant to be. Great question,
Yeah.
Lori.
Yeah, I don't know if it will email me I don't know that it's emailed me anything, but I do need to create that habit to go in, and because otherwise I'm like, who do I need to call? I mean, I know like the people that I need to call in my transactions and the things I'm working on, but when I'm trying to remember like, oh, who did I need to touch base with about properties, or is this person still out there looking, or did they kind of flitter away? Do I need to touch base with them? And that the other thing that I'm really excited to do, because I have not done it and I need to do this because I think about it all the time when things are hot and heavy and you get a new listing and it's like, oh, if I had it all set up and categorized, I could go into MoxiEngage, I could click on my Mille Lacs buyers group, and I could send this listing to all of these Mille Lacs Lake buyers. Like that's how specific I want to be able to get commercial buyers. Oh, here's this hot new commercial. Where are all my commercial leads? Just to really have it dialed in so that I don't have to think about, well, who was this or who was that? They're all in their groups, they're all organized, and I can just go in and create a post in Moxie Impress and then share that with these Mille Lacs buyers or commercial buyers. Just really kind of hone in and use it more efficiently.
That's super awesome. That's a great tool to do all of those. You can be as vague. Some agents just really want to make sure that they're keeping up with people. Some people want to use this to really be intentional with those goals that they're creating for themselves for the year to make sure that they're following up. I know sometimes, right? Does this feeling ever maybe happen as like you see one of your past clients, a buyer or seller, is now listing their house with a different agent. And you're like, oh, it just hurts the heart, right? Like, what did I do? How did I not stay in touch? I think it's those moments that we look back and we wish we would have been reaching out or staying in touch and they just dropped off. These are the tools that help you to be a rock star and stay in touch without having to add, that memory of every day. Did I reach out to Tom? Did I reach out to Julie? They bought a house, 3 years ago. Have I called to see how are they doing? Touch base. Do they have a relative that wants to buy or sell? So you can set up and be intentional. So it looks like you're constantly doing it, and then set up reminders to reach out to them. Call them every 6 months, check in on them, keep the notes.
Right.
Kevin Sharkey shared with us that he calls this his conversation manager. So every time he reaches out to a past client, he writes in there the conversation they had, so that in 6 months when he calls, he can relate back to that conversation. Hey, last time we talked, your son was graduating. Did he move on? Like, how did that go? Like, you just are very in tune. You're very personal. It makes them feel good, but it's hard to remember conversations we had six months ago, or for me, sometimes 6 minutes ago. So like, I just couldn't imagine storing all of that. So this is one of those places as well.
Yeah. And for Sarah, she can add the home anniversary, like when they closed on their home, and set them up on that campaign that will send them an automatic email every year on their home anniversary. So there's different ways of doing it for buyers or sellers, but remembering those conversations and those dates are really, I know that I will never remember everybody's everything.
And maybe I should share just to kind of show a couple of the campaigns from that screen. Does anybody want to see the campaigns that are already made? I can share the screen and show you guys.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So in here, remember, these are my navigation. So if I click on campaigns, I have my campaigns. These are the ones that Kelly has set up. There's eBlast, there's neighborhood news. These ones are the ones that have the people that have signed up for neighborhood news. It just shows you the open rate, the click rate, 73% click rate. That means they want this. National average, you guys, for opens, national average is 0.10. So we've got a 27% average. We have a click rate of 73. Once they open, my click rate nationally is at about a 10% click rate. We're at a 73. So you guys were sending stuff they want. That's what this proves here. There's listing announcements that you can see here, but then there's this My Emails tab. This tab is super cool because you can just scroll down and see here is a full preview of a buyer campaign. YC21. There is a full FSBO campaign. There is a full Fine Home and Estates e-newsletter. There is a full, like these are already done for you. I'm going to preview in just a second, but I want to just scroll and show you guys all of these different emails that are here for you to look at. There's a home newsletter for buyers. Life at Home, these are super cool. Then there's Life at Home. Down here, I'm just scrolling because sellers, Life at Home. So you can send a newsletter out that's already been created to all of your sellers and buyers. Remember on your checklist, you wanted to, this year's the year you're going to do a newsletter. Well, guess what? You can check mark that off by just logging in. So let's just preview one of these. I'm just going to preview this. Let's see, what are we in? April. Let's preview April's sellers newsletter. Can you guys see it? Did it pop up?
Yep.
So this is what it would look like. It's branded to Kelly. Her Life at Home, what's in this issue? Tips to prepare your home for an open house. The 5 cities where you're most likely to own a home. 8 interior design and renovation tips. So here we go. You can edit these as well if you want to, take something off or add something in, make it a little bit more personal. But this is all done for her. She could set all of these up to go out to all of her sellers. She could set the buyers ones to go up to all the buyers, and they're done. They are done. In order to use this, all you do, let me move this screen over here, is when you click on it, you can add it to your campaign. So if I clicked here, I'm just going to click it again. Set up email. You can build. This is where you're going to edit that email. And this is where you can come in and start. I clicked on a different one, but you can put stuff in here if you want to build your own. You can do whatever. As long as you add it to your emails, you can change the template. You can add rows and style, so you can build right in here. It's super cool how you can edit the emails and go back into those campaigns. You can add from your library. So if you go from add to library, this is where all of those different holiday campaigns, e-blasts, and emails are all listed under here. So all you do is add it to your emails. Once it's in there, you can go into that email and you can change it. Also, just throwing this out there, but everything in our library is now also available in Spanish. So if you have Spanish-speaking buyers or sellers that are contacting you, you can also set them up on that. I would be very careful. Make sure you read through it. Make sure you know what you're sending, but things are also available here in Spanish.
Yep.
Questions, comments, thoughts? Does anybody like this? I think yes. I think that's a resounding yes. They all love this. Does anybody have any questions? So Kelly, why don't you just tell us, wrap up a little bit here and remind us we're starting a cream of the crop support group. We're going to go through this together. Give me just a little bit more details in case anybody came on a little bit late.
Sure. We're going to start this. It's going to be on Wednesdays. It's going to be from 10 to 10:30. And we're going to do one item every week. So the first week we're going to talk about getting your contacts in there, different places that you can get your contact lists, how to import them, adding single contacts. And then each week we're going to get a little bit, more detailed, organizing the contacts, really strategizing, personalizing, and then we're going to get into the automation steps. We're going to get, things set up so that things will automatically go out. And then we're going to really dig in a little bit deeper and talk about things like the e-newsletter and how you can personalize that, doing personalized campaigns or even just the regular campaigns and editing them to make them more personalized. And we're going to hold each other accountable. So we're going to do, one thing each week, and then we're all going to go and actually do the thing. And then the next week, we're going to talk about what we did, if we had any problems, successes, and then we're going to talk about the next thing and how to do that. So the goal is really to step by step, get yourself set up, get yourself fine-tuned, and then really create the habit of going in and using your CRM to the degree that you would like to use it.
That is awesome. And I will tell you, if you feel like you're going to log into MoxiEngage for the very first time prior to signing up and coming to your Wednesday class, please note, if you haven't listened all to us today, listen right now. You want to make sure at that very first screen that it's going to ask you if you would like to set up Outlook or Gmail. You always need to select Outlook. Some of you have already been in, you've already done this, so you're not going to see the screen. But if you log in for the very first time and the first question is, would you like to sync your Outlook or your Gmail? You need to sync your Outlook. If you sync Gmail, we'll have to go through Moxie support and reset everything, remove all the contacts, and then redo Outlook. So you'll save yourself a lot of time and hassle if you click Outlook, because that is Outlook. Remember, C21 Atwood is connected to Outlook. So for all of these to integrate and work together, it needs to be with your C21 Atwood email address, because that is where a website's set up to, that is where Impress is set up to, and that is where your Engage is set up. So we need all three of those to match. So even if you do have a Gmail, which is super cool, you still want to use Outlook for this product because it does matter, and it'll start syncing. So when you have your sync set up with your Outlook contacts in your calendar, every time you put a contact into your phone, it'll actually come into your leads engine and it'll just start working. You'll think that you are just so magical and awesome. But I wanted to just say Outlook, 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 Outlook. Only select Outlook. The next screen will also ask you to set your goal. That is your goal that you want to do in sales volume, not in what you want to make. It's a bigger number, because then it just starts to fill in. It'll do that after the fact, but when it has you set your goal, that is how much sales volume you want to do with both buyers and sellers combined. So we can always change the goal. We cannot change the Outlook or the Gmail. So that's all. It'll literally, you just click one button and you're in. Okay. And then we'll start working together, but we can do that on the first day that we meet with this cream of the crop support group.
Yes. And if anybody wants help ahead of time, just reach out. That's, happy to help get set up if that's something that you need help with.
Awesome. Any other questions before we close today's Agent 21 session?
Awesome.
All
Well,
right.
I'll send out an email to everybody inviting them to join us, so that if anybody wants to, we can get that really honed in and get going next Wednesday.
That sounds great. Kelly, thank you so much for your expertise, for spearheading this and starting the group with, I know you already have some people signed up that are looking forward to this. So I cannot express how excited I am to have this be that step by step. This is that really like when you've wanted to learn this, you've always wanted to go in. This is that group because it's going to be paced with one activity a day so it doesn't become overwhelming. You're going to have a group of people here that might have the same question as you. So if you've ever wanted to sign up for something or be a part of something and you want to grow your business, this is the group for you. And just can't wait to see how many people sign up and get going on this. I'm so excited.
I am too.
Thank you, everyone, for joining today's Agent 21. Look out in your email for the registration for next week's Agent 21, which will be an Elevate and Collaborate. Stay tuned for that registration. You'll see that email on Monday. As always, tune in to Agent 21 every Thursday at 9 a.m. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. See you soon.
Thanks, Carla. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.